Hello, and welcome back. Here are 65 amazing numbers to expand your mind. 92 is the atomic number of uranium. The most faces or vertices an Archimedean or Catalan solid can have is 92. It has an aliquot sum of 76, which is itself a square prime. Also, 92 is palindromic in basis 6, 232, 7, 161, 22, 44, and 45. 22. 3 is the smallest odd prime number. 3 is also a twin prime with 5 and a cousin prime with 7. The second and only prime triangular number is also 3. By the way, 3 is the first Mersenne prime, as well as the second Mersenne prime exponent. 57 is the number found in a brand name of sauce called Heinz 57. The third Bloom integer is 57. By the way, a Bloom integer is a semi-prime where both prime factors are congruent to 3 mod 4. 57 is also the fifth Leyland number, as it can be written in the form 5 to the 2 plus 2 to the 5 equals 57. 78 is the fifth Sphenic number, and the fourth of the form 2 times 3 times r. Also, 78 is the smallest number that can be expressed as the sum of 4 distinct non-zero squares in more than one way. What's optional to note is that 78 is a replicate in bases 12, 25, and 38. 6 is the smallest perfect number. By the way, there are 6 basic trigonometric functions: sin, cos, seconds, CSE, tan, and cos. It is the first octahedral number, and the next one is 19, as a perfect number. 6 is related to the Mersenne prime 3. The next perfect number is 28. 58 is the 17th discrete semiprime. Discrete semiprimes are semiprimes that are not square numbers. The number 58 is the smallest integer whose square root has a continued fraction with period 7. It is also the 9th discrete semiprime with 2 as the lowest non-unitary factor, and thus of the form 2 times q, where q is a higher prime. 42 is, in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. The angle of 42 degrees can be constructed with only a compass and straight edge using the golden ratio in 18 degrees. 109 is the 29th prime number, as 29 itself is prime. 109 is the 10th superprime. The decimal expansion of 1 over 109 has 108 digits, making 109 a full reptant prime in decimal. This number is a centered triangular number, which means it is a number that can be formed in an equilateral triangle with one dot in the center. 100 is 10 to the 2 in scientific notation. The 100th prime number is 541. There are exactly 100 prime numbers in base 10 whose digits are in strictly ascending order. The largest is 23,456,789. This is the 7th Leyland number because 100 equals 2 to the 6 plus 6 to the 2. 39 is the 12th distinct semiprime and the 4th in the 3 times q family. It is the last member of the 3rd distinct semiprime pair. 38 and 39. Also, 39 has an aliquot sum of 17, which is a prime, since the sum of 39's proper divisors is 1 plus 3 plus 13 equals 17. 119 is a semiprime in the 3rd of the form 7q. The order of the largest cyclic subgroups of the monster group is 119. This number is a barren number, preceded in the sequence by 51, 68, and 90. It is the sum of the first 2 mentioned. 74 is the 21st distinct semiprime in the 11th of the form 2q, where q is a higher prime. Also, it is a palindromic number in bases 6, 202, and 36, 22, in base 36. This number is a replicate. By the way, 74 is a non-totient, which means there is no solution to Euler's totient function equation. 46 is the number of human chromosomes. The sum of the totient function for the first 12 integers is 46. By the way, it is the number of parallelogram polynomials with 6 cells. One of the centered triangular numbers is 46. 11 is the first one digit. In English, it is the smallest positive integer spoken with 3 syllables. Additionally, 11 is the smallest 2-digit prime number This number is the only prime group unit in octal. 111. 96 is a number that appears the same when turned upside down, which is a strabogrammatic number, since the sum of its proper divisors is greater than 96. This number is an abundant number. This number is also an octagonal number, a refactorable number, and an untouchable number. 36 is both the square of 6 and the 8th triangular number, or the sum of the first 8 non-zero positive integers. The sum of the integers from 1 to 36 is 666, or the number of the beast. By the way, it is the smallest number and with exactly 8 solutions to the Euler-Totient function. 37, 57, 63, 74, 76, 108, 114, and 126. 24 is the average number of hours in a day on Earth, subtracting 1 from any of its divisors, except 1 and 2 but including itself, yields a prime number. It is the largest number with this property. 45 is the smallest odd number that has more divisors than n plus 1, and that has a larger sum of divisors than n plus 1. It is the 6th positive integer with a square prime factorization of the form p to the 2 times q, with p and q prime, and the first of the form 3 to the 2 times q. 29 is the 10th prime number and the 5th primorial prime, because 29 is a parent number. It is a number defined by a recurrence relation. None of the first 29 natural numbers have 3 different prime factors or more. This is the longest such consecutive sequence. 97 is the 25th prime number and the only prime in the 90s. It is also the largest 2-digit prime number in base 10, following 89 and preceding 101. 97 is also a self-number in base 10 since there is no integer that, added to its own digits, adds up to 97. 104 forms the 5th root there in pair with 105 since the distinct prime factors of 104, 2 and 13, and 105, 3, 5, and 7, both add up to 15, with 8 total divisors where 8 is the 4th largest. 104 is the 17th refactorable number. 37 is the 12th or dozenth prime number. Also, 37 is the first irregular prime, which is not prime that is not regular. By the way, every positive integer is the sum of at most 37 fifth powers. It is the 3rd Cuban prime, which is a prime which is a solution to one of 2 different specific equations involving differences between 3rd powers of 2 integers x and y. It is also the 5th lucky prime after 3, 7, 13, and 31. 13 is the 6th prime number, because reversing the digits also gives a prime number. 13 is an American decimal. 13 is also the 2nd star number, a happy number, a lucky number, and a Fibonacci number. 64 is the 6th power of 2. Furthermore, it is the 4th dodecagonal number and 7th centered triangular number. The aliquot sum of a power of 2 is always 1 less than the power of 2 itself, so the aliquot sum of 64 is 63, minus 1 is the additive inverse of 1. It is the first negative integer on the number line. Although there are no real square roots of minus 1, the complex number I satisfies I to the 2 equals minus 1, and as such can be considered as a square root of minus 1. 50 is the number of states in the United States of America. It is the smallest number that is the sum of 2 non-zero square numbers in 2 distinct ways. 50 equals 1 to the 2 plus 7 to the 2 and 50 equals 5 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2. 22 is a palindromic number in base 10. 22/7 is a commonly used approximation of pi, the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. Additionally, 22 is the number of pieces in a disk that can be created with 6 straight cuts, making it the 7th central polygonal number. 69 has become an internet meme, where users respond to any occurrence of the number with the word nice and draw specific attention to it. 69 is also the 20th semibright, 3 times 23, and the 7th of the form 3q, where q is a higher prime. 28 is the 2nd perfect number, which means it's the sum of its proper divisors. As a perfect number, 28 is related to the Mersenne prime 7, which is the 2nd of its kind. The next perfect number is 496. 27 is the cube of 3, or 3 rated to the 2. One can readily test for divisibility by 43, decimal 27. seeing if the number for the last 3 digits is divisible by 43. Decimal 27. In decimal, 27 is the first composite number not divisible by any of its digits. 44 is the number of candles in a box of Hanukkah candles. 44 is also a Fibonacci number, preceded by 7, 13, and 24, whose sum it equals. It is also a repdigit and palindromic number in decimal. It is the fourth octahedral number. 72 is half a gross or 6 dozen. In other words, it is 60 in duodecimal, with exactly 12 positive divisors, including 12 itself, or one of only 2 sublime numbers. 72 is also the 12th refactorable number. 63 is the sum of the first 6 powers of 2. By the way, for 5 in labeled elements, there are 63 posets. This number is the 4th centered octahedral number. After 7 and 25, it contains a prime aliquot sum of 41, which is the 13th indexed prime, and part of the aliquot sequence. 63, 41, 1, 0. Within the 41 aliquot tree, 17 is a prime in the form 2 to the n plus 1. A polygon with 17 sides is called a heptadecagon, because 17 is a thermoprime. Regular heptadecagons can be constructed with a compass and a ruler. Besides, 17 is the third thermoprime, which means it is a prime in the form 2 to the 2 to the n plus 1. 16 is a square number, being 4 to the 2. It is also the first non-unitary 4th power prime of the form p to the 4. In English, the number 16 and 60 are sometimes confused, as they sound very similar to each other. 76 is, in colloquial American parlance, a reference to 1776, the year of the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence. After 1439, 76 is the next 14th or tetracagonal number. 10 is the base of our decimal numeral system, which is the most common system of numbers in both spoken and written language. 10 is also the sum of the first 4 integers and the sum of the first 3 prime numbers. 54 is the number of countries in Africa as of 2023. By the way, the smallest number that can be written as the sum of 3 positive squares in 3 or more different ways is 54. Also, the sine of an angle of 54 degrees is half the golden ratio. 15 is the 8th composite number and the 6th semiprime. 15 is also a deficient number, a lucky number, and a bell number. It is also the smallest number that can be factorized using Shor's algorithm. 68 is an even number and a composite number. 68 is also a square prime of the form p to the 2 times q, where q is a higher prime. It is the 8th of this form and the 6th of the form 2 to the 2 times q. 114 is a sphenic number, and its factorization is 2 times 3 times 19. It is the sum of the first 4 hyperfactorials, including age 0. At 114, the Mertens function sets a new low of -6, a record that stands until 197. 33 is the largest positive integer that can't be expressed as a sum of different triangular numbers. By the way, it is the smallest integer such that it and the next 2 integers all have the same number of divisors. 56 is the sum of the first 6 triangular numbers. One of the refactorable numbers is 56 since 56 has 8 as one of its 8 divisors. 56 is also a tetranyxi number and is a multiple of 7 and 8. It is the sum of 6 consecutive primes. 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 11 plus 13 plus 17. 71 is the 20th prime number. The next one is 73, making 71 and 73 twin primes, because both of the rearrangements of its digits, 17 and 71, are prime numbers. 71 is an enderprime, more generally a permutable prime. 87 is the sum of the squares of the first 4 primes. 87 equals 2 to the 2 plus 3 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2 plus 7 to the 2. For Graham's number, 87 forms the last 2 decimal digits. This number is the 30th semiprime, the 26th distinct semiprime, and the 8th of the form 3 times q. 62 is the 18th discrete semiprime, 2 times 31, and the 10th of the form 2q, where q is a higher prime. Also, 62 is a non-tissue. It is the smallest number that is the sum of 3 distinct positive squares in more than one way. 88 is a replegited decimal, base 21, and base 43. Additionally, smallest positive integer with a second-order representation requiring 5 Fibonacci numbers. 48 is 1/3 of a gross, 144, or 4 dozen, 12s. Also, this number is the second 17-gonal number. 48 is also the double factorial of 6, and a highly composite number. By the way, 48 is a harsh number in base 10 because the sum of its digits in decimal, 4 plus 8 equals 12, is divisible by 48. 8 is the smallest non-trivial cube. It is also 2 to the 3, or the third power of 2, making it the first cube prime of the form p to the 3. By the way, a number is divisible by 8 if its last 3 digits, when written in decimal, are also divisible by 8. 83 is the 23rd prime number. Since 23 itself is prime, it is a superprime. In addition to 83 being a prime, it is also a Chen prime, a safe prime, and a Sophie Germain prime. Additionally, 83 is an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n-1. 116 is the number of ternary Linden words of length 6. By the way, 116 is the number of different ways of partitioning the numbers from 1 to 5 into subsets in such a way that, for every k, the union of the first k subsets is a consecutive sequence of integers. 98 is a composite number as it is 2 times 7 to the 2. This number is a Wedderburn-Etherington number. By the way, the Wedderburn-Etherington numbers can be used to count certain kinds of binary trees. 94 is the 29th distinct semiprime and the 14th that is twice a prime, in decimal. 94 is the Smith number since the sum of the digits in its prime factorization, 2 times 47, is equal to the sum of its digits. 21 is the 5th distinct semiprime. 21 is, by the way, the 5th Motzkin number and the 8th Fibonacci number. It is also the 6th triangular number and the sum of the divisors of the first 5 positive integers. 30 is an even, composite, and pronic number. By the way, it is the largest number such that all coprimes smaller than itself, except for 1, are prime. Also, 30 is a primorial, which is like a factorial but with prime numbers instead of natural numbers. 113 is the 30th prime number, following 109 and preceding 127, in decimal. This prime is a primeval number. By the way, 113 is the denominator of 355 over 113, an accurate approximation to pi. This number is a commutable prime with 131 and 311. 66 was a popular number in the US, named Route 66. Specifically, it was the designation for the historic US Route 66. By the way, 66 is both a palindromic and a repdigit in the decimal system and also in bases 21, 33, and 32. 22. 32 is the ideal number of teeth in an adult human, including wisdom teeth. Also, it is the 5th power of 2, making it the first non-trivial 5th power. Since the aliquot sum of a power of 2 is always 1 less than the number itself, the aliquot sum of 32 is 31. 95 is the 30th distinct semiprime and the 5th that is 5 times a prime. Also, this is the last member in the third triplet of distinct semiprimes 93, 94, and 95. This number is the third composite number in the 6 aliquot tree. The aliquot sum of 95 is 25 within the aliquot sequence. 95, 25, 6. 40 is the 4th octagonal number, even 40. The Mertens function returns 0, as with 39. The only other smaller number to return a value of 0 is 2. Also, 40 is a repdigit in ternary, which is 1111. As the sum of the first 4 pentagonal numbers, it is also the 4th pentagonal pyramidal number. 112 is a heptagonal number, which means it is a figure-8 number that is constructed by combining heptagons with ascending sides, due to the fact that the sum of its digits is 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4, and 112 is divisible by 4. It is a harsh number. 93 is the 28th distinct semiprime and the 9th of the form 3 times q, where q is a higher prime. Also, this is the first number in the third triplet of consecutive semiprimes, 93, 94, and 95. In addition, this integer is a lucky number, a cake number, and an idoneal number. 52 is the approximate number of weak It is the next decagonal number after 10 and 27. Furthermore, 52 is the fifth Bell number, which means it is the number of ways to partition a set of 5 objects. 115 has a square sum of divisors. 1 plus 5 plus 23 plus 115 equals 144 equals 12 to the 2. Also, 115 is the sum of the first 5 heptagonal numbers, 1, 7, 18, 34, and 55. One of the heptagonal pyramidal numbers is 115. Let's be honest, 65 amazing numbers is still greater than 50 amazing facts. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and if you like Dust 1218's content, subscribe to him in addition to hitting the like button. Any mistakes, please let Dust 1218 know. And with that, I'll see you next time.